If you are a B2B service-based business owner and you are looking to gain more clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business, tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Welcome back, everybody. Today, I want to call you to greatness and shift you out of mediocrity. Because let me tell you a truth that is so important you hear. Greatness is not contagious. It's a choice and requires action, effort, focus, and discipline. Mediocrity, on the other hand, is contagious and it spreads like wildfire. You get into the habit of a comfort zone. You get stuck comparing yourselves against others who are middle grounders and you think you're winning. Well, you're not, my friends. And today on Amplify Your Marketing Message, I want to call you to greatness because your next buyer is looking not for mediocrity, but for greatness. And they are searching to find it. And I want desperately for them to find you. So let's talk about greatness and let's talk about what your buyer is searching for so that you can get your head around getting out of the middle lane. And I see it everywhere, truthfully everywhere. I see people replicating direct social posts from someone they think is great and think that by doing it, they will be great. It doesn't work. In fact, you look like a charlatan and you lose trust with your next buyer. So stop it. You emulating somebody else's greatness does not make you great. You have greatness within you, and it is about you tapping into your story, understanding your buyer, bringing your gifts, your expertise, your lens to the table. That must be front and center if you want to win in today's marketplace. It's actually true that it was what was required to win in the past market space, but truthfully, you're being snowed right now, left, right, and center that the world has changed. It has not changed. You have to be great to win. And truthfully, 99% of people don't want to do what the 1% does. They want the experience of greatness, but they don't want to do the effort. To be great, it requires that you sit comfortably in confrontation. Yep, it does. It requires that you sit in confrontation because confrontation is truthful. It is respectful. It is filled with integrity. And your next buyer is looking for that. I saw a post pretty recently that was talking about what do people aspire and search for? You got to know who you are seeking to find. They said that mediocrity and people with low-level thinking are looking for ease. They want a shortcut. Middle ground people are looking to be applauded, celebrated. Is that who you're looking for? Or are you looking for greatness? Because those people who are seeking greatness are seeking pressure. They're seeking, tell me it's worth it. And you get to decide what kind of client you want to serve. That is a personal choice. But let me remind you where we started. Greatness is not contagious, but mediocrity is. And so if you are sitting there thinking, okay, I do want to answer the call, Christine. I want to step into greatness. Let me tell you what your next buyer is looking for. Because it's so easy to say what they're not looking for. What they're not looking for is mediocrity. But customers are looking for a simple four-pronged experience. They want to feel loved for exactly who they are in this moment. A work in progress, flawed, with a past baggage, and lots of limiting stories, but they still want to be loved for what lies within. Secondly, they want to be appreciated for their humanity, to feel that you appreciate the struggles, the journeys, the past experiences. That doesn't mean you give them a free pass to take all that with them into the future, but it means I appreciate what you got to get here. Now what? They also want to be seen, and seen as an equal. And this is something that so many people miss, because traditional marketing talks to you and has guided you falsely, in my opinion, to talk about the pain, to describe the pain, to bully the pain, to think that we're going to be fear motivated and move because you prodded me and judged me. And I will tell you that creates zero movement. It's not effective. It's not effective in the past, and truthfully, that's bro marketing. It's certainly not appropriate right now in time and space, because they need to be seen as they are, appreciated and loved and invited to evolve. And this is where I think sometimes I just want to hang here for a second, because you need to challenge yourself to see your next buyer. We talked about that a lot here on Amplify Your Marketing Message. That's the intersection point where you choose to bump in and intersect them. It's in a dark place. It's not in the space of enlightenment. It's not in the space of your current buyer. It's not in the space who says, I get it. It's saying, I'm questing. And I just need you to see me, that I have something within me that can evolve. I want you to bring hope and light into the darkness. But the only thing that will move, if you want to move a client, is seeing them, appreciating them, loving them, valuing them. And here's the fourth piece of the puzzle. They need to be heard. And what that means is that you get to give meaning to their story and an invitation to get them going. Because we are talking about the fact that we're not looking for everybody. Pure visibility is not the goal. Awareness is good, yes. Visibility in the wrong room, not helpful for growing your business, my friends. It's just a waste of time and space. But everyone's telling you to go get visible, and I would tell you that's mediocrity in the making. Having fans but not clients is not effective if you are trying to grow a business. I want you to find your next buyer. That's my mission. I want you to be able to find your next mission, because you understand that simple principle. I am looking for somebody to love, somebody to appreciate, somebody to see, somebody to be heard, and I'm going to invite them to move with me. Many, many moons ago, I was talking about this story just last week with one of my clients. And I said, one of the most profound lessons I learned was from a guy named Kellen Flukiger. And he is a great gentleman. Go look him up. And he said to me, Christine, I never look for clients. I look for problems to solve, ways I can support, and people I can contribute to. And when I do that, clients always follow. That comment to me was so impactful, I put it on a Post-it note, and it had stayed on my desk for years to remind me what was my goal as a business owner. If you want to amplify your marketing message, you are in service of somebody else. You have to stand as the beacon of greatness, because they are looking for icons who are great and a work in progress, because they're surrounded by mediocrity. They're surrounded by the pastime of complaint and limits and language that they use but do not appreciate, understand, or even connect to. And when you are drafting your strategies, you need to recognize that they need to see greatness. They need to feel it is something they can evolve to. And what's important as you are putting content out into the marketplace is that if you are spending time in educating content, just to be clear, guys, educating content does not make you the must hire. It does build trust, credibility, and connection, but knowledge is not what people pay for. There's an episode here on this podcast that talks about the 4 pillars of content. If you're not familiar with that, I would highly invite you to go take a look at it, because education content should be the least frequent type of content you put out there. Because while you might hear people ask you how doesn't create clients. What they want creates movement. How is a response to it? Why they will do it, who they will do it with, are part of the sequence you must master. But educational content is only about 5 or 10% of what I would ever recommend you put out there into the marketplace. But if you are putting education content out there, it's because you want to show that you love, appreciate, see, and hear your next buyer, and you're meeting them where they are at an intersection point you have chosen. But educational content must do a couple of things. It must show proof. It must show promise. And it must show a plan. Because it's not enough just to educate. Our goal to attract our next buyer is to spark movement. The more movements we can create, the more momentum we will build, and moments matter. Boy, that's a lot of alliteration. I hope you kept up. The truth is that we are focusing on movement. And in order for a person who is aspiring to greatness to move, they need to see greatness in action. They need to see the promise that greatness awaits them when they start to move and evolve. And they need to have 100% certainty that you hold a high standard and you have a plan. Because when somebody says, tell me, make me an offer, how do I work with you? They are wanting you to break down and show a plan that not just created your greatness, but can be duplicated by them. And that you have the tenacity, capability, and belief in them to help them move towards it, which means you have to help them win and get them out of the mediocrity that they're surrounded by. I shared it to you earlier, but I want to say it again because it's so important. Who are you wanting to serve? The people who are middle, who want mediocrity, who want ease? Are you serving somebody who says, I want fame, I want you to give me kudos, I want you to celebrate me, I want to be acknowledged? Or are you searching for those true movement makers, the ones who are saying, I aspire to greatness, I want to be surrounded by greatness, I want you to show me how to be great, and truthfully, I'm prepared for the pressure. I will tell you, hardly surprising, if you've been here for a nanosecond in this podcast or you've ever searched me on social media, I want to be great. I surround myself in rooms that are great. And that means, yes, I wobble, I get scared, I feel out of my own elements. And I say, but greatness is surrounded by greatness. It is not contagious, but if I place myself in there and I'm surrounded by proof, promise, and plans, and I know that I am loved, appreciated, seen, and heard, I can evolve by taking one step at a time. And that's why when clients come work to me, the first thing we spend a lot of time on is, what's your vision? And I will tell you clearly, my job as your mentor, my job here as your podcast host is not to spark it for you. I am a fuel source for a spark that's already lit. So when you're ready to get out of your own way, and you're ready to get out of mediocrity, I will tell you this, it's time to start being confrontational, because greatness requires tension. What are you prepared to confront? When you're creating educational content, how focused can you be on clear language that moves masses of people who need the solutions you're looking for? This is a skill set you develop. This isn't something somebody accidentally acquires. They do it through repetition, and they do it by surrounding themselves with people who can lead them, support them, guide them, and show them the way. To me, in simple terms, they work with mentors, not coaches, mentors who've walked that path, who will say, this is how I got there. This is how I approached it. This is the considerations I made. These are the lessons I learned. and we go beyond education. I believe in you. I know your next client is seeking in the dark. And for everything I have, I want you to be found. Sit with yourself. If you do not have the business you want right now, there's only 3 reasons it's happening. Wake up. All 3 are solvable. It's time to solve them. It's time to drop the mediocrity. It's time to step into greatness. First reason, if you haven't been around, number 1 is you say, I don't know how to be great. I don't know how to get in front of clients. I don't know how to do this. Well, I'm telling you seriously, there's more than 100 episodes in this podcast. Listen, the answers are there. Problem solved. Number 2 is you're saying, I do know how, but it's not working as well as I would like. It doesn't work as well as you like because you're surrounded by mediocrity and mediocrity thinking. You have blind spots. Doing more of the same is insane. You need somebody to come in from the outside and say, let me take a look at where the gaps are. Let me show light into the darkness. Love you, appreciate you, see you, hear you, and then say, this is the gap. What do you want to do about it? But that's a thing you need to solve with a mentor who can come in and show you the blind spots because you cannot see the forest for the trees where you are. That's a human reality. Welcome to the club, my friends, because I know I have that same challenge. And that's why I pay great mentors to help me. Third reason you don't have the business that you want is because truthfully, you don't want it. You're so in your own way. You're so in your own head. And truthfully, you're thinking, it's just so much work. You're looking for ease. You're looking for kudos. And I'm saying where you'll succeed is when you say, I'm seeking pressure. If you don't want it, nobody will want it for you. You can't simply be passive aggressive and expect to move the mountain. It takes greatness, which I said is discipline, action, tenacity, and grit, and the pure commitment that I'm going to sit in the discomfort. Growth isn't comfortable. Your client knows that. So do you. So stop looking for the magic pill. Business growth can be elegantly simple. We're here to educate you, see you, support you. And as I started this podcast episode today, I want to call you to greatness. Who you spend time with matters. What you fill your mind with matters. The actions you take matter because they build momentum. Are you moving forward or are you not? Sit with that and come connect to me. ChristineCampbellRapin.com. We've got some really awesome, cool events coming around the corner. Come find them. Get in the room with greatness. Get into the VIP rooms. Come and hire me to help you be great. There's room at our table. I'll see you there. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit ChristineCampbellRapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next